Good morning. Good and welcome, dear friends. Welcome to our spiritual home, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs. My name is Betty Lou Cummins. I serve on the Board of Trustees, and I'm acting as worship associate today. I'm a senior citizen lady of Northern European heritage, hailing originally from Pennsylvania. Like Elizabeth Warren, family lore told me that I had a Native American ancestress. However, the DNA test did not bear that out. I do wish to acknowledge that we're on the lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole peoples. I also sadly want to recognize and acknowledge the 6 Israeli hostages who lost their lives and were found this morning. We are a church of many welcomes, and we offer a warm welcome to all of you. This is an open-hearted community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. To learn more about events, our church calendar is on our website, uutarpon.org, or would be happy to talk with you during the coffee hour. For those present with us in the building, we have connection cards available in the pews near the hymnals. If you fill one out, we will be able to keep in touch with you. There are also small cards to write any joys or concerns that you would like to share with us if you prefer writing it. Lay-led services are a time-honored tradition in our heritage. Today we have an especially unique service lined up in that one of our members, Kathy Hopkins, will facilitate a process inviting all of us who would like to introduce ourselves to our brand new minister, Reverend Patti Hanks. Pastor Patti, as she is known in the community, starts her new job as our halftime minister today. Yes. Prior to entering the ministry, Pastor Patti worked as an adjunct professor for 3 years and in nonprofit management for 18 years, most recently as a director at Interfaith Hospitality Network and Habitat for Humanity, as well as the executive director at Clothes for Kids, Incorporated in Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. Pastor Patti has Master of Divinity and Master of Communication degrees with research in UU studies and organizational models. She was ordained in June 2024 at Unitarian Universalist of Clearwater, Florida, where she served as their ministerial intern. Pastor Patti lives in St. Petersburg with her husband Mike and 2 dogs, Chica and Manny. She loves to study, sit in the garden, and pull weeds. And she also takes long walks along the bay. Patti especially loves being the mom of 4 children and the mama to 5 glorious grandchildren. Be sure to come back next Sunday to hear Patti introduce herself to us on her first preaching Sunday. Our music today is provided by our music director, Bonnie Whitehurst. Again, welcome.
Our opening hymn is number 3, We Would Be One, 318, and you may stand or you may sit as you prefer.
To
get our chalice lit today by Patti Hopkins because I have a terrible time with the electric lighter, and I admit it, but I'll be happy to read the words for her. The words are by Reverend Allison Palm, and we adjusted it a bit for our special circumstance today. We gather this morning on the brink of a new congregational year and with a new minister. Some of us come fresh from summer adventures, from wind and waves and sunshine. Some of us come broken down from summer losses, from tears and pain and heartache. We're exhausted from a bout of COVID. Some of us come renewed from summer rest, from peace and solitude and contemplation. Some of us come excited just to be starting a new school year or a new job. From a joyous sense of accomplishment and eagerness to move forward, some of us come wearied from summer monotony, from work and heat and sameness. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever gifts and needs you bring, you are welcome here. Okay. Would you join me now in reading our covenant? We strive to look for and encourage the best in each other as we move toward justice, peace, and love for both ourselves and the world. And when we fall short, we will seek understanding, reconciliation, and a return to covenant. Would you join now in singing Spirit of Life, page 123 in your gray book?
Hello, I'm Patti Hopkins. Today feels like the first day of school, doesn't it? Where we're all eager to meet the new teacher, and the teacher has the overwhelming job of learning all of our names all at one time. Welcome.
A lot of Barbers.
A lot of Barbara. If in doubt, just say Barbara. So one great thing about being a family-sized church is we get to learn everybody's name and know everybody by name, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. So we will start our introductions today with our staff. So Jamie will come up first, and then later we'll have Bonnie do her introduction, and we'll have the Board of Trustees. And then the part of the service where we would normally do a sermon, that's where each of you are going to get an opportunity to come up and introduce yourself to our new teacher, to Patti. So let's start by introducing the youngest among us. Jamie, if you would come today and tell us a little bit about how you came to be our Director of Faith Formation and share a little bit about the children and their families.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Everybody here knows my name. I go by Jamie, Jamilette, whichever one you can remember is fine with me. I'll answer. I used to get called omelet, and I answered. They try to make it a bullying thing, but I would tell them with bacon and cheese. Yep. But I have been here since 2019. So right before COVID. It came here and I just absolutely loved it. I felt invited, I felt loved, and I felt just super comfortable. It's hard to find a big group like this, where you're just 100% comfortable with everyone. And I absolutely adore everyone in this church. They have helped me in a lot of different ways, which I'm forever grateful for. So yes, I absolutely love teaching the children. I love children in general. I work as a program director at Cops and Kids Youth Center. I've been there 12 years now, going on 13. But yeah, every single day I have my same 3 so far, and then every other weekend I have Alex. So Alex is in the back, if you can wave hi. Everyone say hi, Alex. I'm sure we're gonna turn that frown upside down by the end of today. And then we have my daughter, Sunny. Sunny, can you say hi? Say hi. She's 3, turning 4 in October. And then we have Charlie. Charlie, can you say hi? Hi, Charlie. And that is my daughter's bestie. She has been here for a while. She's been here. I met Charlie at 10, 11 months, so she's been here a long time as well. And then we have her beautiful mom, Miss Lizzie, sitting there. And then we have my my co-teacher, Miss Anais. She's actually my cousin. So we grew up as best friends, and she's not going anywhere. And then she has her beautiful daughter here every day as well. Her name is Solani. But yes, we have other kids that come sporadically. We have Stuart and his brother. Oh my goodness. I'm having a brain fart right now. Somebody.
Elliot?
No. What's his name? No, Stuart and he's the older one, so I don't see him as much in there.
I'll just call him the older one.
I will get back to you because it'll pop up. It might pop up at midnight, so. But yeah, that is our group of kids that we have so far. We're hoping to grow eventually with some more, younger bodies. But yes, we learn a lot about our principles. I like to bring those up every single Sunday. Because I'm also, the UU, when I started, I didn't know anything about it. So I've kind of been teaching myself and help along the way. But yeah, so that's our little group right now. It'll get bigger, but yeah.
Lovely. All right, thank you, Jamie. Let's sing the children out to their program. Alex, you want to come get the candle? Go now in peace.
His name is Everett. Everett and Stuart.
Go now.
Oh, sing that in peace.
All right, our church has a reputation for having good music, and the reason why, Bonnie, will you come up and introduce yourself, please?
Get through here.
And Bonnie has been here longer than anybody else. What year did you start?
About 2000.
2000, 24 years ago.
Well, I had been a part-time musician through the 80s and half of the 90s at the UU Clearwater Church, not church anymore. And I would sub here in Tarpon Springs. There was a couple that had come from Kansas, and their parents were getting ill, and so they had to move back to Kansas. And because I was here part-time, many of the people knew me, and so they asked if I would come and be the musician, and so that's how I got here. And so I brought my musical skills here. And the things that I like most about this position is the freedom to be creative with the musical choices, unlike the Catholic Church or the synagogue where you have your standard music. And the choir is very receptive always to trying new things and suggesting good ideas. And so that's me.
And there's one more staff member who's not here this morning. Gail Gardner is our part-time admin assistant. She's a joy to work with too, and she helps make everything go smoothly here in the church. All right, so now we will meet our governing body of this church, the Board of Trustees. And since we have one right up on the stage, she will start it out. If the rest of the board members could come on up, please. They're coming. Be sure to speak into the mic.
Jump right in.
Jump right in, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Hopkins. I've been retired for about 10 years, and as one of my daughters put it, Dad, you were really built for retirement. Part of that is I'm a lifelong learner, and it's a great era to be retired if you love to learn. There's stuff on the internet plenty, there's stuff in our community, and right here in our church is a wonderful place to learn a lot. And if you really want to learn a lot, get yourself on the Board of Trustees. There I have learned, among other things, the value of patience. Things don't always happen at the time and the way I think or expect they will happen, but this is a community with lots of pull and lots of ways to integrate. So I've learned to have faith in that. So patience and faith are a good blend. One of the things I yearn for in the vein of community is that we continue to evolve our ability to live into our covenant, and that we put trust first and foremost among ourselves, and we continue to build on that. So thank you. I'm the clerk of the Board of Trustees, meaning I get to do the minutes.
The agenda.
Hi. It's good to see you again. Patty and I have interacted several times since midsummer, I think, when she came up here and we worked on her contract and her financial package and the whole thing, so I got to know her very well.
Tell everyone your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. You all know me, don't you? 1, 2, 3.
Judy Pickett.
Thank you. I'm glad you remembered. If I would have cried if you couldn't. At any rate, I'm a lifelong UU. Grew up Universalist in Massachusetts. Went to this great granite stone, beautiful church with a little, tall bell spire. And we used to go and ring the bell as the kids. We'd jump on the rope and ring, cling, cling. But anyway, I've been here in Florida for about 4.5 years. And started coming here immediately, got caught up into it immediately, went on the board as the treasurer immediately, and now I think some of the things I've learned are patience. Some of the things I've learned is that even though on the board we disagree, we come to consensus ultimately, and if not, it goes on the next agenda item so we can stew over it for another month. I've learned to trust the process. I've learned to trust my colleagues, and I've learned to trust the congregation to support us in what we do. What I yearn for finding my successor as treasurer. The job has a lot of moving parts, and I think the job could be done by several people. So I've got another year after this one, so don't worry about it, but I'll come and find you. And I yearn to continue, as Mark said, stay in covenant. On the Finance Committee, we have our own covenant, and we've included a timeout. If something's going on that's not working, we can go, timeout, let's go back and see what's not happening right. And we resolve it. So I love the resilience the resolutions, and the teamwork that we have.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, I had that all written out. I typed it, printed it, and forgot it.
And I did bring mine. Hi, I'm Betty Clark, and I am almost 3/4 through my first term on this Board of Trustees. I've been a UU for over 50 years, joined when I was in college in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I've served on previous boards of churches and organizations before. My husband and I joined this church in 2021, right in the middle sort of COVID. And so we continued to learn and be a part of this group online. We moved to Florida in 2017 to take care of my mother, who's no longer with us. Being on the board, I learned it's small. It's only 5 of us, but I'll call us a mighty group, BOT. And I have experience from other boards, but even being president and I own my own company and CEO of my own company. But I learned that my role on the board was functioning in a part of shared leadership, which we often refer to in that context of from Hotchkiss book. So we rotate facilitating each meeting by a quarter. So each one of us take a quarter and then facilitate and help Mark with the agenda and move forward. We have duties to carry out in between board meetings. Thus, when we come, we try to come prepared to do our business instead of just talk about it. Now, what I yearn for is to have more members to step up to be a part of various teams that we have created in this church and to carry out our church services and our functions. Thank you.
Hello, I am Barbara Mellon. I am the youngest of the Barbaras, at least at this point. Hopefully we'll get more. It'll be fun. I am also the mom of Alex, who's currently 9 years old. He did ask in the back if I could make sure to tell people that he and I both started coming in 2017, though I formally joined the church in just the very end of 2019. So I was not a member for a couple years. I'm also obviously the troop leader of the Navigator Scouts and running the band book movies, which we've actually we've scheduled the next one for October, Where the Wild Things Are. Did you know that was why that was banned? Because it teaches kids to be mischievous. But anyway, yes. Anyway, this is my first year on the board. It's definitely been a fun, interesting experience. And what I've learned is that both the board and the church are very adaptable to a wide range of circumstances. When I was asked if I would possibly be on the board, I was like, you gotta find meetings that are virtual because I'm gonna be on the road and a schedule and all of that. And just everybody's been great about doing that. And that we do truly keep our congregation's best interests at heart with everything we do. I've learned that that's the driving force. Even if we don't all agree, we all have that same feeling. What I have yearned for is that we continue to improve our communication, both with each other and as a whole. I've seen tremendous strides in the right direction, and I love it, and I hope we keep going that way. It's pretty cool.
I guess I can wrap up the introductions. You know I'm Betty Lou Cummins, and I was told I need to speak up more, so I'm going to try my teacher voice. What brought me here? People, friends. I had a friend, I was in Germany at the time, who wanted me to visit a UU church with her there. I knew nothing about Unitarian Universalist. As an English teacher, of course, I knew that Ralph Waldo Emerson had been a Unitarian minister at one point, but that meant nothing to me. I knew nothing, but she made me promise that once I retired and moved to this area, I would find a church. So I went online. This is before the days of GPS. And I got the address, and I do believe I circled the bayou 3 times before I found the church. But I found you. First thing I walked in, this was pre-sinkhole, so the church was very dark. We didn't have our windows, so it was very dark. And pre the renovation too. First of all, I noticed there wasn't a cross up front. That shook me a bit. And there was an old lady painting in the foyer. And what was her? Julia Ennis. Julia Ennis. But anyway, I stayed and afterward, the coffee hour, it was the people that I met that convinced me I need to come back again and again. And I've learned so much since then. I've learned that Unitarian Universalism is where my heart is and always has been. I never knew it. I never ever belonged to a church my entire life. I didn't even get baptized till I was an adult in a Methodist college. But it's the people, it's the love, it's the acceptance that where my heart is, as I said. So I'm here for the duration.
Yeah.
We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm, with the open door of justice. We will build this house, a house of warmth, a house just right, a house to keep away the darkest night, a house of hope, a house of peace, a house where all within may safely sleep. We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm, with the open door of justice. We will build this house, a house that's built to remind us all of how we are connected, whether great or small, a house of dignity, a house without shame, a house with walls bearing all our names. We will build this house with the strength of our arms, with the love of our neighbors. We will build this house. We will build this house as a shelter from all harm, with the open door of justice. We will build this house.
A longtime friend of our congregation, Connie Goodbread, who now leads the UUA's Hope for Us program, described Unitarian Universalism in this way. Unitarian Universalism is a path with practices and disciplines. The first is covenant, a values-based sacred promise we make to ourselves and one another. Covenant helps us understand how we will be together, what we can expect from one another, and what we hold ourselves accountable to. The second discipline is pluralism, the reality that many things are true at the same time, that each of us brings a unique experience and perspective to our community, and we are made richer by being bound to one another in covenant and sharing deeply our experiences and understanding of reality. Goodbread goes on to explain that when we practice covenant and pluralism together, we will be transformed as individuals, which enables us to then transform the world. Unitarian Universalism is transformational. It's living, evolving, becoming. Its change is the way of this path. So during our moment of silence today, let's reflect on how we as individuals come together to form our unique UUCTS spiritual community, the heart of this church that is ever evolving. Please think about how you might introduce yourself to Pastor Patti. Cards have been placed near your seats, and you'll recognize it. It's got a yellow birdie on it that says welcome. If you don't have a card near you and you need one, someone raise your hand and someone can bring it to you. The cards have on them 3 open-ended questions, and if you could show the questions on the screen, please. What brought you here? What do you bring? And what do you love to do? This is a safe exercise. Do not overthink it. There's no right or wrong answer. The questions are intentionally open-ended so that you can interpret it however you wish and say whatever comes to you. Your responses will not be judged. We do ask that you keep it brief, a minute or less. There'll be time later on in your relationship with Patti for longer conversations, but today we just want to touch the basics. We do want everyone to have time to have a chance to share today. So you can either speak your introduction, or if you prefer, you can just write it on the card, and there's a basket right up here. So after the service, you can put it in the basket for Patti to read later. And if you don't feel like participating in this introduction business, that's fine too. You can just enjoy taking it all in. So we will have our a moment of silence as you reflect on how you would like to introduce yourself.
As we get ready for the actual introductions and to let you continue your thinking, it's time for our offering. Our UU community and its work runs on the generosity of our congregation. You may mail in your offering, donate it on our website, or place your offering in the collection plate today. And I hope we have someone who's going to be carrying the plates around. No, it's going to be, I do it? I do it? Okay, you will. Okay, thank you. Okay, the gifts of the congregation will be gratefully accepted.
right, it's time for our introductions. We're going to do this in 2 waves. So the first wave, for those who would like to come up to the stage and introduce and speak into the mic, I'll invite you to just come and line up on the ramp and we'll introduce ourselves. Then after wave 1, we'll have a music interlude. And then for our wave 2 of introductions, I'll take the handheld mic and come to you. If you prefer to stay where you are, stay put, and let me bring the mic to you, you can introduce yourselves from your seat. We will also then toggle the TV to show the people who are on Zoom. We tend to forget that we have additional attendees on Zoom, so we will see them and give them an opportunity to introduce themselves as well. If they prefer, they can just key in their introductions in chat, but however, whatever they're comfortable with. All right, so let's get started. If you'd like to introduce yourself, just come and line up here on the ramp, and one after another. Elaine's going to start us off.
Good morning. I'm Elaine Brooks, and I'm glad you're here, Pastor Patty. Thank you. Welcome. What brought me here, I was a spiritual orphan, and I was in search of a spiritual home, which I have found, and I'm very grateful. What do I bring? I bring my love for poetry and my belief in its healing power and my desire to share that with people. What do I love to do? I love to walk on the Dunedin Causeway in the morning in search of moments of awe.
Good morning. I'm Pam Paul Hudson, and I live in Dunedin, and almost exactly a year ago, my husband and I walked into this church. We had been Unitarians in Philadelphia since 1995, but had lived here 10 years already, and I had gone to different congregations, and I just couldn't find a fit. And when I walked in with him, it was just right, and he was embraced. So I joined the community, and my husband passed away last fall, but the love that everyone showed me was just amazing. I'm in the choir, and I'm interested in working on the Memorial Garden when the weather gets better. And because I'm a weaver, I've been a weaver for over 50 years. Professionally, I've taught and so on. I will be setting up a tapestry loom for people to weave their joys and sorrows on little ribbons starting next October. Something that I can do for everyone. So, there you go.
Hi, Patty. It was my pleasure to be on the search committee, and we all, it was a unanimous agreement to invite you here. But when I was in Mexico for 20 years, I said if I wanted to restart my life in the U.S., I'd join a UU church, the Democratic Club, and be an abortion clinic defender. That one I can't do. The other thing I wanted to tell you is I went back to school, and I know you read my profile, but this wasn't on it, when I was 37 to change my degree from fashion marketing to business. I went to the University of San Francisco, which is a Jesuit college. Everyone must write papers to challenge courses for upper division units, and they all must write their religious autobiography. And I said that God was a single woman, single mother of teenagers, and could not answer my prayers because she could not hear me over the boombox. And so my advisor, Sister Ann, called and she said, "Are you a failed Catholic?" I said, "No, I'm a recovered Catholic." And she started banging the desk and said, "I've never heard that, and now I'm peeing my pants." And so I made a decision at a very young age that God, Jesus, and organized Christian-based or even Jewish-based religion wasn't for me. So I've always found a home in various Unitarian churches, and I joined this church when we were on Zoom and knew no one. But this is my home.
Thank you, Susan.
And welcome.
Welcome, Pastor Patty. I'm Pat Donahue. In your honor, I remembered my name tag today, which usually is still in the car. I first learned about UU's when I went to church visiting my sister. While I was still working, Sunday morning church for me was getting to go to the gym when I could actually take care of me. But one of my first friends was excited about this church and asked me to join her. And I came, and as many others have said, found the love and the welcoming spirit of this group and wanted to be part of it. Marge didn't stay very long, but I'm still here. And I joined while we were in the Walton Center. So it is a leap of faith to join a church that's meeting in a community center, but this group did it well. I actually joined the church on a Monday night, and Wednesday morning, Kathy Hopkins was on the phone inviting me to be part of a very small task force to figure out how we were going to pay to rebuild the church since the insurance money was all gone. As a former college president, I was known for organizational change, strategic planning, and financial skills, so she found my sweet spot. In addition to leading the capital campaign and the endowment for a long time, I've also been a loyal member of working on the laundry project and the church's representative to the Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship and Events Committee of Tarpon Springs. It's a mouthful. We're very close to them. They're looking forward to getting to know you as well. I am often known not by name, but as the traveler, because what I love to do is travel the world and learn about the people and culture in other areas. And next week, I have a family event just before I leave for Mongolia, South Korea, and Japan, so you won't see me again until mid-October. But welcome, and I'm thrilled that you're here.
We're a BOGO deal. You get one of us, you get both of us.
Yeah, I'm Charlie Nelson. This is my wife, Jean. And as she said, we are a package deal. She's the organized one. I'm a little chaotic, but together we make it work. We've been UU since 2006 in New Jersey. And when we came down here, we couldn't move to Florida or even visit Florida unless there was a UU in the area. And we found this place when they were in the Walton Center, and we loved it, we loved the people, and we're still here. And what do we love to do? We like to stay busy. We work around the kitchen, we work around the building, we work around the grounds. I'm in charge of buildings and grounds. This is the first lady of buildings and grounds. And we try to keep the place running. And we're always looking for volunteers to help us out. And that's about it, huh?
Yeah, and two things that I really like to enjoy at this church is hospitality, when you see people coming for a potluck and sitting down and connecting.
Yeah, it's cool.
And the one thing I'm most proud of is the Rainbow Welcome Circle, where it's been designed that anyone that wants to champion a cause can come to us. Not that we do the work, they do the work.
Hi, I'm Helen Caldwell, and I was raised Methodist, but was never really satisfied with that. And, I've been coming to this church since shortly after they started doing in-person services again after COVID. And how I found it was I was looking for a Tai Chi class online, and I came upon the newsletter for this church that listed the Tai Chi class, so I was looking for a Tai Chi class and I found a spiritual home. And I think I bring an inquisitive nature and experience gained from a lifetime of searching. And things I love to do, I love to sing, I love Bonnie's choir, and I like to learn new things such as Spanish, and that's it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Patrick Callan, and the first question is what brought me here, and it's a who. It's Ellie. As many of you may know, that was Ellie's house over there on the opposite corner. I'm a lifelong Floridian, which makes me somewhat exceptional. I tell my sisters that I was the smart one that stayed. However, in recent years, that intelligence has been questioned in this state. I grew up, my spiritual tradition is, I was raised as a Presbyterian in Dunedin. Later, for many years, I'm another of 3 people so far who've identified Methodist. I like to say I'm a liberal Methodist by background, but that's called into question also in recent years, because the liberal wing of Methodism is still against gay marriage and ordination, so I'm not there. I used to lead a class in that liberal portion of me called Living the Questions, based on a DVD series and it looks like Patti is familiar with that. Things I love to do, in front of Ellie is Mark Hopkins. I like to play golf with Mark and others in a Tuesday group. And I don't walk the causeway, but I walk the bayou or downtown a lot because we live over there right next to the bayou. Thank you.
I'm Paulette Kevlin, and I wish my husband Pat was here. He's better than I am at speaking, but he's under the weather. What brought me here? It was my interest in a non-Catholic church. I had been raised Catholic, and I was very, very tired of being pushed in the corner, you might say. And I sought teachings from several other different churches. And when I came to this particular church, I have to say that was the participation both in the services, but also in very nice people, caring and concern for each other. And I think that's a very important issue. What do I love to do? Sing with friends, both practice and service. We are so delighted to have Bonnie Whitehurst as our pianist and protector when we really bomb on a piece. Also, after the service, enjoying friends. Thank you.
As you know, I'm Lizzie Wolfson. I was glad to be on the search committee. I came here seeking community and found it. What I bring is my daughter and a passion for mental health care. Things that I love to do, a little bit of everything, but I like reading, learning, traveling, fostering animals, and eating good food. So glad to have you.
Hi, I'm Lana Wirtz. What brought me here was to come down to help my mother. She's 101, almost 102. And so I'm very, very close to her and helping her out. And I know eventually she will pass, I'm sure. But that's a hard thing for me. But that's one of the reasons I need help. And I don't mean that you sound awful, but it's just a real part of me now. I came from Louisville and from a UU church, which is a really big one, and I enjoyed it very much, and I learned a lot about it. Before that, it was the first time that I'd been a part of it. And What do I bring? Music. Honest to God, that's been my savior at this point, is singing and hearing and being a part of that with this people here who want to be that way as well. And so when it's not here, I'm shrinking, you know, sort of like. What do I love to do? Sing. Honest to Pete, I bet you would have guessed that one as well. My sister and I were singing together. We were actually taught to sing, and when we were little, and then later and later and later, and that's so I have always been singing. And my voice is low, as you can tell, and I enjoy it. My mom has a lovely voice as well. Okay, so, and what do I love to do? I basically have always wanted to be a teacher. And I have it's been a great job. I taught people, I was teaching German. I speak German sort of, kind of, and learned that, but then moved from that, because what I really wanted to do was to help women to move from just being pretty much down in the kinds of work they would do in where they were and move up. And by gosh, it was during that time that the U.S. helped us to do that. They wanted us to be better, to become in management, to do that. And by God, I got a great big job to do it, and was the first top woman, seventh, I guess I'd say was number 7, who were in the management area out of Etna, for God's sake. That's a big place, and so I learned a heck of a lot about it. And I've been doing that forever since, not just for women, but also for anybody who has it somewhere they want to become, do, whatever. And I'm able to listen, and I don't know how to get to wherever you want to be, but I helpful to just saying, I know you can if you have the following kinds of things in your heart. So anyway, there you are. So I've been it's been a hard time for me to be helpful in here because I'm so much with my mother. And I'm scared to death, of course. She's gonna die on me, and someday, of course, she will. And so I'll need help when that happens. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.
That really touches me. What brought me here to Florida almost 6 years ago now was my mother. I'm Carol Baker, Carol Ann, and so my mom only lived less than 2 months, but when I was leaving Cincinnati, I knew I would be okay because I would always find a UU home. So my first 20 years plus years were as a Catholic, actually a young girl who thought she wanted to be a nun at one point. And then around the age of 20, it was really just being on my own and with friends and being a kid, a young woman. And then Sunday morning with Charles Kraut came, and that was really my religion. I really felt that every Sunday morning from 9 to 10:30. And then I wanted to get married, and I was going to do it in a park, but my partner said, no, my mom will believe it more if it's in a church. And I was the one who had to call the churches. And the UU people, of course, took us in. And I had been going there many years for concerts. So it's been a major part of my life for almost 30 years now. Is that right? Yeah, almost 30 years. And I'm so grateful. But it is in these couple of years that I've been here, once I finally got myself here, that I really learned what it is to be a UU. And I have been able to come more into my own, and I keep learning. And volunteering to being on the stream team was a great joy for me. And then I've worked with kids a lot. I love kids, I love swimming, and I love being part of little Charlie's life now. So, and with all of you, thanks.
Get to meet in person finally. I'm Greg. What brought me here was a lifelong search for a progressive religious community. Like many, I came here from Catholicism through Lutheranism, came to Florida and found this in 2009. And what do I bring? Lots of training in philosophy, theology, and physics, which is real helpful. Betty Lou will tell you I actually talked about, well, she thinks nuclear physics one time, but anyway. What do I love to do? I love to play tennis, ride my bike, spend time with Barbara, my girlfriend, and work with people to build a meaningful life and a more just society.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm Ellie Wolf-Muelich, and I used to live across the street, and Patrick is my partner. I initially came to the UU Church because the interim minister, I was out gardening in my backyard, and she came by and we started talking. And my late husband and I joined here, and we had many wonderful adventures. I ran a women's group on Celtic spirituality. I loved singing in the choir, and I miss that very much. And I did some time on the board serving my time. And through all the sinkhole, and I don't know if you've heard this yet, but gosh, we initially started in, what's the name of the place with the Elks Club. And the elk was in the corner of the room during the service, and then you had a 60s kind of nifty glass thing, that one of those kind of balls. Oh my gosh, we've been through it all. And I think, you know, I've grown a lot, I've changed a lot, and now I'm with Patrick, and we're down the road a bit, so you have to stop by. If you want to walk the bayou, we can arrange that. And I think what I bring is, I'm a lifelong learner too, and I have a deep sense of commitment to helping people through change. And my last 10 years, well, since 2000 actually, so it's 24 years now, I've been a chaplain in healthcare, and last 10 in hospice. And I also served on the caring committee and did that kind of thing. So wherever I am, whoever I'm with, that's part of who I am. So it's good to meet you.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, I'm Diana Reif. I found out when I'm standing there, the hearing loop doesn't work.
Not right there.
Right. I use the hearing loop because I have the connection in my hearing aids. I was raised in a very progressive liberal church in Michigan, which now has a Unitarian Universalist minister. So I guess I've been of this faith all my life, with lots of gaps where I was nothing. 51 years ago, I moved to Key West and became at some point, along with my mother, a member of the Unitarian Fellowship there in Key West. Met my husband there. I'm a retired lawyer, author, painter, and we moved to Palm Harbor for better medical care from Key West. We moved to Palm Harbor in 2017 and immediately looked for and found a good UU church, and this is it. And we've been very happy here. I've served on the board. I've been involved when I could be in things like the yard sale. It wasn't a yard sale, it was an indoor yard sale, and things like that. I love to swim, I love to read, I love my husband Udo, and I'm so glad to have Patti here. So glad. Me too. Words cannot express how really happy I am about this. Thank you.
All right, let's have a music interlude.
I'll skip the one. I think I'll just do this one. Well, like Judy, I did forget a significant thing at home. Underneath my piano is a tambourine, which was supposed to go with this song. So I'll just snap my fingers, and if you want to snap with me, you may. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the song that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the song in our hearts. We are welcomed, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the joy that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the joy in our hearts. We are welcome, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the hope that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the hope in our hearts. We are welcome, we're welcome to this world. We're welcome to this world by the love that's in our hearts. It's been with us from the start. We're welcome to this world by the love in our hearts, by the love in our hearts. Oh, sorry, I turned it on, so we wouldn't have any feedback. Go ahead.
All right, well, we had a lot of people come up to the stage, so that's good. Is there anyone who would, Barbara, would you like to?
Sure, thank you. Well, what brought me here is the location and these beautiful paintings. It just so happened that the changes in my life forced me to, I chose to move and come to Florida, and so just seeing this, I had opportunity. Anyway, that was the reason. And what do I bring? My own curiosity and interest in people in my 20 plus years of Unitarian Universalism, and just that desire to continue that tradition. And what do I love to do? Talk with people, make a connection, say hello, learn your story.
Either of you guys?
Oh yeah, let's give it to them.
Forgot my glasses. What brought me here was looking for companionship, which I certainly found. And what do I bring? Music. What do I love to do? Sing and sometimes write.
Do you want to introduce?
My name is Barbara Wilson. That's Barbara with an O. I have been at Unitarian Universalists for about 50 years. But when I was born long, long ago in Sweden, I was automatically included in the Swedish State Church, Lutheran Protestant. And that followed me through school and confirmation. But after confirmation, I hardly went to church, like most people in Sweden. I was sort of disillusioned by so-called good Christians. And eventually, when I came here, married an American, somebody mentioned the Unitarian Universalist Church. So when we moved to Schenectady from New York City, we found a Unitarian church there and joined that, very happy with it. And subsequently moved to Albany and joined another Unitarian church there, very happy with that too. And eventually we moved to Springfield, Massachusetts, and there I was, we were there for 30 years, and we had a very nice church, many different ministers, and I was active in certain things, and eventually I was, for a while, I was administrator of the church. And then we're tired of snow and ice, so we moved to Florida. The first thing we looked for, a place where Unitarian church and some sort of Swedish group. Well, there was a Swedish group in Newport Richey once, and so this was the closest church, so that seemed a perfect arrangement. But the Swedish group disappeared, but the church has been here for us since we came here. We joined right away.
And Barbara, we're running a little late, but you have been with us for a long time. I think Barbara might win the prize next to Bonnie as having been part of this church.
Yeah,
for a
about
long
20
time.
years.
About 20 years, yeah. Thank you, Barbara. Anyone here?
Hi, my name is Bill Ahrens. What brought me, I think I got here kind of by mistake. I live a quarter mile away for the last 30 years, and I drove by a million times assuming that this was just a normal religious kind of, dogmatic, exclusive belief system, and I didn't really have an interest. I volunteered to help a local director shoot a film, and one of the locations was the parsonage right next door. So I went in there to set up lights and begin shooting, and I'm looking on the walls, and there's these sayings, and there's a picture of the Buddha, and it's like I'm thinking, holy cow, how did this get so progressive? I've never seen this before. So that kind of piqued an interest, and that eventually brought me in here, and I'm very grateful for it, to be so inclusive. What do I bring? I usually bring cheesecake. Unfortunately, today I brought fruit to make amends for the cholesterol, and what do I love is painting. By chance, I happen to be like tonalism, and just by chance, this happens to be the center of the universe with George Innes and George Innes Jr. So thank you.
All right, it is getting a little late. If someone doesn't get a chance to introduce themselves, we definitely can talk to Patti during coffee hour. But is there someone else here in the room that would like to introduce themselves before we invite our Zoom people? Yeah, sure.
I'm one of the 8 Barbaras here. Welcome to the church. I came here in October of 2005, but I didn't join then, but I've been supporting the church since then, so I haven't calculated just how long that is. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? George?
Hi, Patti. My name is Mark. What brought me here was my wife.
What do I bring? 2 hands and my charming personality. What do I love to do? Pickleball, no basketball, pickleball and bicycling.
And kayaking. We went kayaking once.
Patty, I'm Udo, but somehow you knew that already. So once again, welcome.
You want to go ahead and toggle to the Zoom people? Let's see. I think we got everybody. All right. So is there anyone on Zoom who would like to say a few words to introduce yourselves? We'll get you in gallery view so we can see you here. I think Robbie has her hand raised. Are you unmuted, Robbie?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
F1 to unmute.
I'm not muted.
We don't hear you, Robbie. It's just a second.
Okay, now I'm
Just a small
unmuted.
adjustment. Quite
Now-
yet.
Now can you hear
We're
me?
working on it. You can go ahead, Robbie.
You can hear me?
Oh, we can't hear her. Now try, Robbie.
Testing.
Got it.
Okay. Yay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Robbie Varner, and welcome, Pastor Patty. I joined the Buddhist meditation group about 9 years ago and met many of the UUers through that group. And their kindness and their acceptance brought me to the church. So a year later, I joined the church. I bring a love of all things UU, and I also continue to facilitate the 2 different meditation groups. Like Betty says, it's all about the people. And what do I love to do? I love to learn about other cultures, and I love art. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Robbie. Would anyone else who's on Zoom like to say something? All right, I see Marge there. All right. I think we maybe have made the rounds. All right. We'll skip a few of the elements in our service because we're all interested in the fruit and the refreshments. So I am going to hand the mic to Patty for a moment, and then we'll do our chalice extinguishing.
Kathy? Kathy? We had one person that put a text in on the Zoom line. Do you want me to send it or read it, or what would you like?
Read it to us if you can.
Okay, this is from Thea. I'm going to guess it's Wojciechowski. Pronouns are she, they. She was born and raised in Clearwater. She's 28 years old, was raised Catholic, but it was kind of forced, so it didn't click. This is the very first service she's attended, and she's been looking for community in the area and hopes this can be it. She brings technical knowledge and trying to see what the rest of this says. She brings technical knowledge and was a software developer and professional mechanic for 7 years. She likes to cook and learning new techniques. And she's a member of the LGBTQIA plus community and brings a perspective from the queer community.
Okay, what a gift for a brand new minister to have this. I've never, in all my experience, I've never seen a UU church do this on the first Sunday. What a beautiful thing to do. And I have to say that the UU ministers that I have loved in my life have always been questioners and listeners and studiers. So I feel like I'm right there with you on all of this, that we'll learn together. And I'm so glad to be here and be part of the journey here. This space, I've lived in Florida for about 20 years now, and I've been up to this space many times. It's absolutely magical. I could just hardly believe I'm sitting here in this building, just so beautiful. And the music here, wow, what a gift you have here. So I want to say thanks to everyone who planned this. What a great idea. And thanks to all of you for being here. When there's a new minister, there's lots of different ways that we all feel about that. And I recognize that. And I want to be your minister. I want to be here. So I appreciate this welcome. I have several ways that I can always tell when I'm on the right path. One of the ways that I can tell is that I get super curious. And all I do is read about this place. I've read every single plaque in every single corner of everywhere. I just love this place. I always have. And I also want to say hi, honey. I see that my husband has tuned in. He doesn't have his face on there. He's probably got both dogs on his lap. And you'll get to meet him, and he's just the best. Absolutely best thing in my life. So anyway, the other way that I can always tell that I'm on the right path is I go buy new pencils and sharpen them all up and buy like composition notebooks and office supplies. And so I had my newly sharpened pencil in my composition notebook, and here you were with me able to be a student taking notes on all of this. So I'm like, woo-woo, this has to be a sign. So blessings to all of you, and thank you for this just beautiful welcome. I truly feel welcome, and I'm glad to be here. And you'll get to hear more about me next week. Come back. Invite me back.
Okay. We extinguish the flame now, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love we share in all the world.